What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and today I've got some football focus. As sick as I am, I'm sick as a dog, so please forgive my coughing and sniffling and raspy voice and horrible looks in this video. I am very sick, but I wanted to bring you guys my NFL Power Rankings for Week 6, 2016. I've been getting a lot of views and a lot of feedback on these segments. So I'm bringing you guys weekly Steeler football segments, reviews, and weekly power rankings continued. This was a very tough week to rank so far. 6 of the top 10 teams from last week in my last week's rankings, which you can go back and check out in a previous video. 6 of the 10 teams lost this week, so things are getting very muddled. Lots of big injuries this week projecting forward. So there's a lot of big things changing and shuffling around in my top 10. Again, this is not the 10 best teams in the NFL. This is just the 10 top teams so far through 6 weeks. This is not projecting how things are going to finish or who the better overall team is, but just my top 10 so far through week 6 and how they're shuffling out and playing lately. So we'll start with number 10, the 4-2 Oakland Raiders. They did lose this week and fall several spots. But their offense is still elite. Their defense needs a lot of work. They did lose a game they probably should have won this week. But again, Derek Carr is playing very good offense. Crabtree has rejuvenated his career. I say every single week, Amari Cooper is a must-see guy. But Latavius Murray's been really banged up all year, and they have no real strong running game despite a couple of bursts through the 2 young rookie signings this offseason. So the offense has been playing pretty well despite some guys banged up. The defense is what needs a lot of work. This team is still a fringe, a wild card team. They're actually ahead of the division right now. I think the Broncos are the better overall team for that division. But the Raiders sitting at 4-2 are still an underrated team to watch for in the AFC wild card race. Number 9, the 4-2 Pittsburgh Steelers. My Pittsburgh Steelers, another team that lost this week to a team they should have beaten. They lost handily to the Dolphins amid a bunch of injuries. Again, they lost Mike Mitchell for a little while. They lost Stephon Tuitt. They lost Ben Roethlisberger, who returned but needs surgery, who can miss several weeks now. So projecting forward, they're going to be playing without Cam Hayward, without Ryan Shazier, without Stephon Tuitt, and without Ben Roethlisberger for at least a few weeks. Thankfully, the tear in the meniscus was not a bad tear, but he's still going to miss at least several weeks. With Landry Jones now at the helm, things are not looking good in Pittsburgh right now. They were once the favorite in the AFC. If Roethlisberger misses any sort of real time, it could be trouble for Pittsburgh. But they're still sitting at 4-2. They've still got Bell and Brown, and Sammy Coates is playing pretty solid. Marcus Whedon is returning from injury again next week. So we'll see. They still have potential to be an elite offense, and the defense still is not breaking when they're healthy out there. So they're going into New England this week very banged up. This could be a blowout for them. But as of right now, they're still sitting at 4-2 with a lot of very good players. So they're number 9 right now on the list. They could return for a playoff push later in the year, but as of right now, the injuries have them much lower. They went from number 3 to number 9 this week, and a blowout against New England couldn't put them off the list altogether next week. Number 8, another team that lost this week, the Denver Broncos. They're now 4-2, and they lost to a team they should have beat in San Diego. So now they don't have back-to-back losses, going from 4-0 to 4-2. They still have probably the best, if not one of the best, defenses in the entire NFL. Great pass rush, good physical corners. They create a lot of turnovers. But the quarterback play has been down since Trevor Siemian has been hurt. Paxton Lynch has played solidly in both games, but not well enough to win. He's got a few turnovers. The running game has not been what it should be with Siemian in there. So since Lynch has come in, the running game and C.J. Anderson has not done that well. So the offense is looking a little disjointed, and the defense has bent a little more than it should have. So they're sitting at 4-2 now with 2 losses on their record. And again, they still have potential to be one of the top 3 seeds in the AFC easily. But with Siemian not playing in full games and the running game kind of slacking off, they've fallen a little bit, several spots here, to number 8. Number 7, the 3-2 Green Bay Packers. They also lost the game they were expected to win against Dallas this week. The Dallas Cowboys have gotten a big statement win this week over the Packers. They're shooting up the rankings. We'll get into those guys in a little bit. But the Packers now, in the last couple of weeks, they looked good last week, but 2 of the last 3 weeks they have not looked that good. Rodgers looks a little amiss on offense. Jordy Nelson looks a step slower than he has. The defense needs a lot of work. The Cowboys were playing without Dez Bryant and with a banged-up Witten, and they still ran amok on Green Bay's defense. So Green Bay's defense needs a lot of work, and the offense looks a bit slower. They're still 3-2. They've still got a lot of their key players, so they're looking to be a force in the NFC down the road, but they fall several spots this week. Number 6, the 4-2 Atlanta Falcons also lost this week, but lost to the Seattle Seahawks, who are the NFC's top team, and looked very good in the loss. They were down to Seattle early, came back and scored 3 straight touchdown passes in the second half to tie and take the lead over Seattle, and didn't lose the game until late. So they hung in there with one of the best defenses in the NFL, probably the NFC's best defense in Seattle. Matt Ryan still looked good. Julio Jones still looked elite. The defense actually did a pretty good job holding Seattle to some first half field goals, keeping them out of the end zone, holding Russell Wilson to modest gains, holding off Doug Baldwin and Tyler Lockett. So the Atlanta defense actually is improving this week, and the offense looked pretty good as well. So they did lose, but they are 4-2. They are sitting atop their division right now, and they look to be a very underrated team at number 6. Top 5 teams this week. 2 teams shoot up very high on this list this week. The Buffalo Bills weren't even on my list last week. They are now sitting at 4-2 at number 5. They beat, I think it was the Raiders this week. I forgot to look at the game standings. I think they beat the Raiders this week. So they now have 2 statement wins. A big win this week with a high quality offense, and a big win over New England a few weeks ago, albeit with the backup team in. But I think they put up 42 points this week. That offense looks really fun, and the defense is the one that's had more of the issues. But they have, Rex Ryan, a defensive coach. They have a good physical play at the linebacker spots. They're getting more pressure on the quarterback, which is nice. And their offense has been flying, even without their leading receiver. They've been going on the back of Robert Woods and a couple of the tight ends down there, and they're actually looking really good in there. I mean, Marquise Goodwin has broken out. They've seen LaShawn McCoy become one of the NFL's leading rushers. They've looked really good overall, running the ball, controlling the team, having Tyrod Taylor playing in the doing the whole read option thing to a hilt, and protecting the quarterback. So good line play, good running the ball, and not turning the ball over as much, scoring more points. So the Bills are a team to look out for in the AFC. They're not going to really catch the Patriots anytime soon, but they are a possible wildcard team now, number 5. Number 4, another big shot in the arm this week, the Dallas Cowboys move up to 5-1, one of the best records in the NFC. They have been on fire as of late, under the rookie tutelage of Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott. Elliott now 3 consecutive weeks with over 130 yards rushing, first rookie in history to ever do that. He's been on fire, popped another 140 yards rushing off this week. Dak Prescott broke the record for most pass attempts consecutively to start a career without an interception. Broke the record this week for that. Did eventually have an interception this week, but still broke the record. He's been on fire, playing great. They're playing without Dez Bryant, and they're still running the field. I mean, with Bailey and with Bryce Butler and my goodness, Jason Witten, Terrence Williams. They are using these weapons to the fullest of their potential. They're running the ball, protecting the quarterback behind that awesome line. Prescott's making smart decisions. They're playing a little better on defense. They've still got a ways to go, but they're playing good on the outside. Good safety play over the top, not giving big plays up, and they are one of the underrated teams, success stories of the year. When Romo gets back, I think they better stick with Dak Prescott because the Cowboys at 5-1 are on a roll. Top 3 teams this week. Number 3, the 4-1 Seattle Seahawks. Big statement victory over the high-powered Atlanta Falcons, beating one of the best offenses in the NFL this week and a top 10 team in the Falcons. Seattle looks great. They're on a roll. They've won several in a row now. Russell Wilson looks like he's back to full form. It looks like for the first time since being traded to Seattle that the tight end, Jimmy Graham, is on fire. He's looking back to full speed. Doug Baldwin's still a player to watch out for. Christine Michael, multiple scores this week. When he's healthy on the field, he can be someone to watch out for. CJ Spiller being integrated into the offense. This team looks like they're going to be unstoppable. Best NFC defense in the NFC. Enough offense behind Russell Wilson. So 4-1, the Seahawks are one to watch out for. Number 2, Minnesota Vikings, still sitting at 5-0. They had a bye this week. They did not play, but again, Sam Bradford is doing enough to manage the offense, not making mistakes. They're getting use out of Stephon Diggs, who's become an underrated star. Jerick McKinnon's been solid running the ball. They're protecting it. They're not forcing the ball or creating turnovers on offense, but they are creating turnovers on defense. Good safety play, pressuring the quarterback, forcing a lot of fumbles. So again, they're being smart. They're holding on to the ball. They're scoring just enough points, and they're playing hard on defense at 5-0. The number 2 team. Number 1, no surprise here, New England Patriots improved to 5-1. Tom Brady is back with a vengeance. He's on fire. I think he had another 300-plus yards this week, another several touchdowns. They've got a dual tight end situation with Gronkowski and Bennett. Those two are on fire. They've got Edelman, who they're not even using to the fullest potential yet. They've got the new deep threat in Chris Hogan. This team is rolling. The defense is creating enough turnovers on the line. And this team is, in my opinion, the one to watch for in the NFL. They're playing the Steelers this week. The Steelers, again, are banged up. They look to get to 6-1. So the Patriots are the class of the NFL. Brady is back from suspension, and he's trying to make a name for himself again to show these guys how angry he is in returning. So the Patriots at 5-1 are number 1. What's your list? Tell me down below. Who did I rank too high? Who did I rank too low? Anyone that I left off the list? Who else should I look out for? Tell me in the comments section, guys. Until next week, this has been Football Focus with your power rankings for Week 6. Take care.